Yesterday we mentioned our amazing ability to turn everything that is amazing into something boring. And actually, we don't do that, but we have a nature that does that because mm, our fallen human nature actually is able to take anything and everything and want to use it for ourselves, and eventually it's all about us, and therefore all becomes boring eventually. And we don't see this problem because we somehow imagine that the fault lies with the thing or the person that we're trying to have be amazing, but they're not anymore because, well, now they are about me also. And you understand what I'm saying? I'm just me, and it's always about me. And I don't see that that is my fault. I somehow think that it's their fault. This is an amazing trap, and welcome to this morning's simple truth from the Word of God. This is so interesting because, let's say, in a relationship, so I I am looking for amazing in my girlfriend, and then in my wife, and then I put it on them. You have to be amazing. You have to accomplish this. You have to perform this. You have to do this. And then they feel the pressure that they have to be somehow amazing. Have you ever been in a relationship where you had to perform and it's so terrible? Or let's say they are putting it on you. Well, we are all putting it on each other, actually. We're expecting each other to be filling that desire for the amazing in our lives. And if we do that, then we are actually destroying our relationship, because who could ever live up to that impossible standard? And God is saying, I have something better for you, but you find it only through my Son, only through the cross. We see this. I was thinking of this example in 1 Samuel 2, verse 17. We read about the sons of Eli, who was the priest, and he actually was serving the Lord, but his sons were evil men. His sons were men who imagined that the sacrifice of the Lord was actually for their benefit, was actually serving them, and therefore they treated it with it says that their sin was very great before the Lord, because they treated it as such a common thing, because it was to them, it's amazing. It's the service of God. It's the temple of God. It's the sacrifice of God, and you are the priest of God, the living God, not a fake thing, not an idol, not an empty philosophy, the real God. And yet they abhorred it, and the way they treated it was ridiculous. But then in the next verse, in verse 18, Samuel was ministering before the Lord, and he was just a servant. He was a nothing, but in his life, God was speaking to him, and God said, Samuel, Samuel, and he heard him. He heard God, and then he responded in simplicity, and then his life changed, and then he changed all of Israel. He changed history, actually, simply because of this truth that he himself said in his heart, I am not going to be satisfied with the way of those men. I'm not going to live like that. I want something more. I want the Lord. And this is where it changes for us. As long as it's all about ourselves, even our Christian walk, as long as it's about ourselves, it's going to become boring eventually, and we're just going to be fed up with it, and we're going to say, it's just the same old, same old. This is the same as, I don't know, it's the same as I don't know, the Ferrari club that I belong to. It's the same as the stamp collector hobby group that I belong to, or whatever thing I belong to. And that's just, and that's just the end of it. Then and I say this is the same as any other, and Christianity is not as amazing as I thought. But it's not the fault of Christianity. It's not the fault of the Lord. It's not the fault of the Bible. It's not the fault of the church. It's that I made it about myself. And as long as I make it about myself, gosh, it's going to become so boring. And we cannot live like that. We need to say in our hearts, yeah, it's not about me. It's about you, Lord. And that's what interests me. God bless your day with that, and God bless your life with that.